Alright, so in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to unwrap UVs. And UV is pretty much just a coordinate system that we're going to use for materials. So just like you have X, Y, Z, we're going to be using UVW to work with materials here. Now, the benefit of working with UVs is that sometimes I want materials added to just one plane or certain planes and not to the others. So if I am creating my own materials in Photoshop, this can make it really easy for me to create my own materials that fit perfectly to my object. So let's go ahead and get started. So I have my arcade machine here, and the first thing that I'm going to do is go ahead and add a UVW map. So it's not unwrap UVW. So you might just want to go ahead and scroll down, go to unwrap UVW and click on it. And what we want to start off by doing is we want to open our UV editor. So that brings us to here. And what I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn off my checkered box here so I can see this a little bit easier. Now, in my editor, you can see that I have a projection of my arcade machine. It looks a little squashed, a little fat, but we're going to fix this. So what we want to do is we actually want to select some of these polygons and isolate them and fit them within this small box selection here. So let's go ahead and start that. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my polygon selection tool, and I'm going to click on the side of my arcade machine. Now, as you can see, I have this nice big square that pops up that also corresponds to what I have here in my UV editor. So if this doesn't pop up correctly for you, what you're going to do is you're going to go down here to your planar projection. And once you click that, you're going to notice that our plane is now oriented over our Z axis, which we don't want that to happen. So we want to make sure we're on planar and change this align to Y, or X in this situation here. And you're going to see in your UV editor that you have this nice object here. So let's go ahead and turn off our planar map, and I'm actually going to take the rest of my object and just move this here. Let's try it one more time. Okay. Leave that right up there. Awesome. So I have this side. Now let's go around to the other side and do the same thing. So I'll take this. Let's go to our planar projection. We don't want to have our plane on the other side, so we're going to click X one more time to flip that over. And now what you see here is we actually have two of our planes. I'm going to make sure I turn this off. We have two of our planes that are on top of each other. So if you hold down your shift key, you can actually drag this over and it will lock in place. So if you see, I have this one, which is this side, and I have this one, which is this side. So now what I want to do next is I'm going to select these three polygons up here. Let's go to my planar selection, and let's do Y, and that looks pretty good. So we'll turn off planar, and let's move this selection over. And then I also want to do this front piece where maybe I can put a logo or the name of the game, somewhere up here, down here, whatever we decide later on. We'll go to our planar selection, align to our Y again, turn off planar, and drag this right over. Again, if you hold on shift, that'll drag right into place there. And then finally, let's go do the top of our arcade cabinet here, just like this. Let's go to our planar projection, and now we want to do Z. So we'll turn this off, go back to my UV editor, and I'm going to drag this right over. So now, once you have something like this, we want to make sure that we actually take care of the rest of our video game cabinet here. So all I'm going to be doing is adding materials to this. I'm not going to be doing anything fancy. I don't need to fit anything unique on these planes. So I want to flatten this out. So I'm going to select my remaining polygons here. I'm going to go up to mapping, I'm going to go to flatten mapping, and we can just go ahead and say okay. And what you're going to see is that all collapses right in here. It's not the most ideal situation, but when we get more into UVW mapping and editing UVs, then we can tackle this a little bit later on. But this is a good place to start. In the next tutorial, I will show you how to go into Photoshop, do some editing, and how to arrange this so it's workable.